What up, world? My name is Nicholas Coriano, and today I want to discuss 25 tips. 25 tips to creating more content effectively. If you guys don't know, content marketing is one of the most cost-effective ways to market your business. This includes everything from, writing blog posts to publishing social media posts to writing articles online. Content creation gives you one of the best ROIs for your business. It's one of the easiest, most cost-effective ways to start marketing your business. So today I want to go over 25 things that have helped me, and hopefully they help you. So let's get to it. Okay. Number one, create an editorial calendar. So this is as simple as, going online, typing in editorial calendar. They have some, templates out there. When I started, one of the simple things I did was just give me all the national holidays, right? Whatever country you're in, give me all the national holidays, and then start creating content for those holidays. So on Christmas, you'll see on my Facebook, I have that Christmas post, right? I have deals for Christmas. I have deals for Thanksgiving. I have deals for Valentine's Day, right? Create a calendar so that way you're ahead of schedule when you're creating content and you know when you're going to publish. It doesn't mean you have to publish every day. So an editorial calendar could just be, hey, look, I'm going to publish on Friday and I'm going to make the content on Monday, right? So just have that scheduled out in your calendar so you can allocate time. This is going to help you create content more effectively. So create an editorial calendar. B, utilize automation tools. So there's ways to schedule your post on Facebook. There's ways to schedule your post on Twitter. There's ways to automate your postings on Instagram, Hootsuite, TweetDeck. These are all ways. WordPress, when you publish on your blog on WordPress, it allows you to automatically send it to Twitter and Facebook. So use those tools. Search content automation tools. Search social media automation tools on Google, and you'll find these tools. Use them. C, use templates. Templates are one of the best ways to get a lot of content out. So for example, right now when I'm putting this video, 25 tips to creating more effective content effectively, I have a template here. I have a guide here on what I'm going to talk about. I'm not just shooting off the cuff, right? When I put together an article for my blog about business plan writing, it's usually, hey, introduce the subject matter, discuss the subject matter, write a conclusion, and then write a call to action, shoving them to your product or service, right? That template is important to creating that content because it allows me to produce more content effectively. Same thing with my Facebook post, right? What's the template for the Facebook post? Well, it's usually, motivational quotes on Monday, business tip on Tuesday, workout Wednesday tip, right? Have a template for everything you're doing, everything from how you post to when you post, to the type of content you post. Use templates. Templates are your friends. Number D, outsource content creation. You don't have to make all the content. I use Fiverr, Fiverr.com, freelancer.com. Some of these places are great. They can, I outsource my whiteboard creation videos, or I outsource my article writing. These are all things that can help you, create more content efficiently. You don't have to create all the content yourself. Canva is another great tool that helps you make, flyers and digital marketing content. Outsource that. There's people on Fiverr that for $5, $10, $20, they'll create you 20 pieces of content, right? You don't have to create it all yourself. And even if you don't go to Fiverr, have somebody else do it. If there's a kid that needs a part-time job or an internship, a free unpaid internship in design, outsource that. Frees up your time. Another tip. E, reuse content. This video, you're going to see this video 20 different ways. So you're going to see it one time on YouTube as a whole video. You're going to see it on Facebook as a Facebook reel. You're going to see it on Instagram as a post. You're going to see it on Instagram as a story. You're going to see some of the words in this video used as a Facebook post because I took the words and I put it on rev.com. Rev.com takes your video and automates it into text. So everything I'm saying now will become a blog post as well. So reuse the content. That's one of the quickest ways to become more effective at creating content for your content marketing strategy. F, break content into smaller pieces. This is exactly what I was just talking about, right? This video will be posted on Instagram, will be posted on Facebook in 30-second clips, 60-second clips. Same thing with your blog post. You write a big dissertation, use part of that as a Facebook post. So break down that content into smaller pieces. G, this is important. Schedule time for content creation. So a lot of times you have this laundry list of things to do, but you didn't put time in your calendar for it. So today I put time in my calendar. Hey, from 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock, you're going to be creating content. You're going to create a long piece of content that you can split up, and you're going to put it into the calendar. This day, this day, this day, this day. This is when you're going to release them. So make sure you're actually setting time aside to create the content. So schedule the time. H, very similar to the content creation calendar. Plan your content. So before I started shooting videos today, I put together a plan. What am I going to shoot? What are the subject matters? And then I edited, right? Make sure, does the subject matter actually lead to sales? Am I talking about things that are going to, eventually lead someone to potentially become a customer of mine? Am I using my time most effectively, right? Because if I shoot the video and I can turn that into a blog post, it doesn't work the other way around. I can't write a blog post and turn it into a video. Not yet. I'm sure with AI that'll change. But planning out the content will help you decide what kind of content you should produce, and then which content is going to be the most beneficial for you, because you can dice it up or you can put it in your content calendar, right? So plan your content. Make sure you have an agenda when you do schedule time aside to create the content, and you're not just shooting off the cuff. I, leverage user-generated content. Now, this is a big one, right? When I put a video on YouTube and somebody comments underneath, hey, awesome video, screenshot that, put that on Facebook, right? Look what someone said about me, right? If someone, comments on a blog post, same thing, comment back, use that comment as the heading for another blog post. On YouTube, someone once said to me, oh, that's interesting, they don't do it like that in North Dakota, right? Well, perfect. How they do it in North Dakota, right? I use that content as a piece to continue the conversation, to continue the content creation. So leverage the user-generated content. Users are going to generate content, and you can use that. So if someone asks me a question on Twitter, pick up my phone. Now all of a sudden I'm doing a vlog about that question, right? And I use that content. It's also good for engagement. When you create content based off of what some user said, that user usually comes back and engages with that video again. And then other users see that you're doing that, and they're more likely to engage. So leverage user-generated content. J, focus on quantity over quality. Okay, now a lot of people are going to say the opposite. Focus on quality over quantity. But the truth is, every piece of content you're putting out there is a little piece of digital real estate. And the more digital real estate you can create, the better. So I'm not saying that you can't create one masterful piece of content and that it will go viral and that it will solve all your issues. Totally possible. But the chances of that happening are far greater if you just keep producing a lot of content. You will eventually get to that great piece of content. So don't worry about being perfect. Worry about getting it out there. So worry about putting out enough out there that you get practice, number one, right? You're practicing, so you will get better at it, and it will get more qualitative. But more importantly, focus on mass numbers. The chances of you having one blog post or one video that does it all for you are slim. So focus on creating quantity of content, not just quality. Okay, create a content bank. Okay, so this means you should have a bank of content ready to go for the next year. So my rule is 1 year out. I have enough content to publish for the next year. So if you look at my Facebook page on the Nicholas Coriano or the Business Planning Guru, already automated for the next year. And I have a content bank. I have videos that I haven't released. I have reels I haven't released on that platform. This goes back to regurgitate content, reuse content, have templates, have a calendar, right? If you have all those things in place, the bank of content will happen automatically. It also goes back to quantity over quality, right? You want to have enough there. The attention span on the internet is very short, right? People are scrolling fast. They're going through your ads fast. They're going through the blog post fast. They're going through the feed on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram super fast. So you want to be able to constantly be feeding that beast if content marketing is part of your strategy. So you want to keep a bank of content always there, ready to be leveraged. L, use influencers, leverage influencers. There's other, now, I'm not talking about Kim Kardashian. I'm not talking about Puff Daddy. I'm not talking about Snoop Dogg, right? I'm talking about Mark Cuban. I'm talking about influencers in specific fields. So for example, for some of our clients where we deal with public companies, NASDAQ and New York Stock Exchange clients, a securities attorney could be an influencer, right? If you're talking about, yoga, It could be, a therapist, right? A physical therapist that could be an influencer. They don't always need to have millions of followers to be an influencer. As a matter of fact, for most content strategies that are just starting out, it's better to catch a micro influencer with 10,000 followers of the right people than 10,000 followers or 100,000 followers of the wrong people. So I'll give you an example. If I get in front of an attorney, I write business plans for a lot of clients, right? If I get in front of an attorney who is forming businesses for people that want to get an SBA loan, and I know that when you get an SBA loan, you need a business plan. The 10,000 people that he's in front of are more powerful than the motivational speaker speaking in front of 100,000 entrepreneurs that I don't know if they need a business plan. I know for sure that these people that just started a business that are trying to get an SBA loan, they need a business plan. So keep that in mind. The same thing with geographic influencers. So if you're a restaurant, right, getting Kim Kardashian to post about you might be great, but it might not be as great as getting the mayor of your town to post about you, right? So that geographic influencer is important because you're trying to get people in a certain geography. So keep in mind, leverage influencers, create collaborations with influencers, provide them value, drive them traffic, promote their products so you can get on their page and hopefully drive traffic to you. M, repurpose content. So this is different than reuse content, right? Because you can just reuse it, just put it back up somewhere else. But repurposing it means do it somewhere different. So for example, I wrote 50 blog posts over the last year on nicholaschoriano.com or thebusinessplanningguru.com or servitude.com, one of my websites. Now I take those 50 blog posts, I put them all together, and I create an ebook. I repurpose that content, which was now a blog post, to create an ebook, which is a new piece of content. I also took the headings of those content, put them on a list, and then shot videos for them, right? So I used it as part of my content calendar, content plan, and I regurgitated and repurposed that content. So repurposing content is super important. Same thing with, if you're shooting videos, taking segments of that and taking the picture from that video and posting it as a picture on Instagram or Facebook is another example of repurposing content. So repurposing content is a way to help you create an efficient content marketing strategy. Make use of visual content. Make use of visual content. So it's really easy to write content. It's really easy to get somebody else to write content, but visual content sells better. So I'm not just talking about video because not everybody's cut out to get in front of a camera and make videos, but an infographic, a PowerPoint slide, a picture of your product or service. These are things that you can do in mass numbers. So for example, if you're a restaurant, I'm taking pictures of every single dish that came out of that kitchen. And if I only make 20 dishes, that doesn't mean there's only 20 pieces of content because I'm taking pictures of the spaghetti and meatballs, and then I'm taking pictures of the garlic bread. And then I'm taking pictures of spaghetti meatball and the garlic bread. And then I'm taking pictures of the spaghetti meatball, the garlic bread, and the glass of wine, right? And each one of those is a different piece of content. But that visual content is super powerful. People, a picture's worth 1,000 words. So easier than it is for me to explain what's included in the business plan is to show you the picture of the business plan, right? So let you riffle through my page. So for example, if you go to my website, The Business Planning Guru, now instead of saying, email me for the business plan or this is what's included in the business plan, you go there, you can flip through the pages of a sample business plan. That visual content is super powerful. So use it. Okay, make sure you're using visual content. P, monitor social media trends. Okay, so when things are trending, you should hop on that trend. So I'll give you an example. Presidential elections are coming up. Everyone's talking about Trump or everyone's talking about Biden. I don't care what your political affiliation is, but you should be entering that conversation, right? You should be entering that conversation and mentioning your product or service. So for example, when Trump was getting elected, right, I was tweeting out, man, Trump doesn't look like he knows what he's talking about. He needs a business plan. LOL, right? When Biden was getting elected, Biden doesn't look like he knows what he's talking about. He looks like he needs a business plan. LOL, right? I'm entering that trending topic. And the reason you want to do that is because people are talking about it, so they're also searching about it. So on Christmas, if Christmas is trending, you're talking about Christmas, right? If there was a big court case that came out or the World Cup just finished, you're talking about the World Cup while it's trending, while it's trending. So keep track of all the trends on social media and jump into those trends. And B, a subsection of this is keep track of the trends that the social media platforms are using. So for example, if on Facebook today, it's almost 2023, it's the end of 2022, Facebook is giving more traffic to Reels. I'm posting more Reels, right? They're not giving as much traffic to Facebook posts. When I share my Facebook posts in different groups, I realize, oh, pictures are better than just words. I'm publishing more pictures, right? So keep track of the trends, not just on a macro level, what people are talking about, but also what are the companies doing? What are the social media outlets doing to give you more traffic more effectively and use those trends, okay? So monitor social media trends. Q, stay up to date with industry news. So you becoming an authority in your field is important because people will look to you and view you as that authority, and then they'll be more likely to buy your product or service. So if you're a pool company and all of a sudden they're not using this kind of chemical, they're using this kind of chemical, you want to be the first to state stuff like that. You want to be the first to put out that information, right? You want to become an authority in your fields, and you do that by staying up to date with industry news. So anything in your industry, be up to date and release that content. It's also a great way to grab other content and put it out there, right? So if you're in a trade magazine, you read through your trade magazine, or you get an email newsletter about your industry, and they're saying the industry's doing this, grab that piece of content, copy and paste it, and put it on your Facebook, right? What they'll start doing is saying, oh, this is a source. They're going to start looking at your social media profile or your outlet as a source for that information, and that's a good thing. Okay, so stay up to date on industry. R, this is important. Incorporate storytelling. So people want to hear a story. People want to hear a story. Better than saying, hey, I'm a business plan writer. If you ever need a business plan, call me. A better approach would be, hey, let me tell you a story. When I was starting a business, I was confused. I didn't know where to go. And until I wrote a business plan, I didn't really have it all mapped out, and I was just kind of shooting at the hip. And writing a business plan changed the trajectory of my business because it allowed me to have a roadmap for success, right? And it allowed me to eventually invest in real estate and invest in stocks and create, several online businesses. And now I sit on the board of a public company. And that story from zero to hero is more inspiring to somebody than just explaining to them the value of my business plan writing service, or the fact that I can form your company, or the fact that I can make your trademark, right? So tell the story. People want to know your story. They don't want to know just that you can provide, pool patios. They want to know, oh no, your father started the business, and we're second generation, and we learned from all the mistake, and we laid all kinds of bricks, and these are the stories and trials and tribulations. People relate better to stories than just to, the narrative of your product or service. So incorporate storytelling in all your content marketing. S, focus on the benefits of your product or service. So too many times people just want to get to, hey, this is what I provide. This is what it is. This is how much it costs. This is how much time it takes. Nobody cares about that. What they care about is what value are you providing to them, right? So for example, when I say focus on the benefits of your product or service, I don't sell business plan writing services. I sell the ability for you to raise capital. That is the benefit for you, not the benefit for me. If I tell you, hey, it's $700, I'm telling you the benefit to me. That's how much I'm making. That's the benefit to me. Which you don't care about that. You care about how is it benefiting you. Hey, you can raise $1 million if you have the right business plan. That's a benefit for you, right? Hey, you can operate legally if you form your LLC. That's a benefit for you. Not, hey, it takes 7 days and costs $450 for an LLC. That's my benefit, right? That's my benefit. What you want to focus on is the benefit for the client. So it's not, hey, my prepackaged meals are, $100 for the week and you get 7 meals. That's your benefit. Their benefit is, hey, you don't have to cook. You save yourself 7 hours a week for every 7 meals you buy from me. You save yourself, your health, right? By buying healthy meals from me. That is the benefit. So always sell the benefit to the customer, right? Sell what you are actually providing, the value you're providing, not the product or service. It's different than what the product or service is. It's what is the product or service giving them? What is the benefit that it's giving them? And sell them that. Explain to them that as opposed to just explaining to them what the product or service is. People are buying the benefit of something. They're not buying the thing. They're not buying a car. They're buying the ability for transportation. You understand? So having this car is not like, hey, you really need this car. No, you don't. You really need to get to work, right? You really need to go see your friends and family. Those are the things that you need. That's the benefit that you're getting from the car, not the car. Because if it was just a car, it's like it's just a piece of metal, right? What are you getting from it? So always sell and focus on the benefits of the product or service when you are creating content. T, participate in online discussions. So there's forums, there's Twitter conversations, there's people that post. Comment under the post. Join the Twitter conversation. Join the Twitter spaces. Join the online forums that are talking about your sector, your industry, your product, your service, and join the conversation. Add value to the conversation. Hey, this is what I learned. Hey, this is what I saw. Hey, this is something that might help you guys. Join those online discussions and have a discussion. A discussion means a back and forth, not, hey, this is what I provide. Hey, this is what I saw. So here's a trick for that. Always end your conversation or statement with a question, which makes the other person respond, and then you're going to respond back and forth. And that's a conversation. Back, forth, back, forth, back, forth. That creates engagement. That will eventually drive traffic to your site, your product, or your service. Okay. You take advantage of multimedia. Okay. In an age when everything is digital, everyone's talking about social. What you should be thinking about is, where is no one thinking about, right? So when my clients come to me, a lot of times now, I suggest to them radio, television, billboards. Well, oh man, but social media is free. Yeah, but what you want is undervalued attention. The reason social media killed this for so long was because no one was there. You're like, oh my God, I can reach all these people for free. Well, now it's a very crowded space. And guess what? No one's calling the billboard company. No one's calling the airport service. I went to an airport the other day and I saw a billboard there. And I said, you know what? Let me call these guys, because I'll bet you no one's calling them, because everybody's focused on Facebook. And sure enough, it was like $300 for the month, right? I'm talking about tens of thousands of people cross that, right? Now, is your product aligned with that space? That's another question, right? Are you supposed to be marketing there? That's another question, right? If you're selling something related to travel, it's probably a good marketing avenue. If your target demographic travels a lot, then it's probably a good market. I'm not saying that's a good marketing avenue. What I'm saying is, go where people are not, right? Go where it's undervalued. So always be thinking about multimedia when you're talking about content creation, because the same content you're creating for online, right, could be used in a trade publication, could be used in a magazine, could be used on a billboard, could be used on television, could be used on radio, could be used on a podcast, could be used in various other multimedia platforms. So don't block that all out when you're talking about content creation. Because a lot of people talk about content creation in the realm of just online, right, just social media, and that's a mistake. It could be a flyer in your local community center. It could be, a table mat at your local diner that you use that content for. It could be a brochure, right? So think out of the box when it comes to multimedia, okay? Incorporate video content. This is the next one. Incorporate video content. Even if you're not making the video, get somebody else to make the video. Sometimes you can make whiteboard animations where a cartoon explains, what it is. But video is very powerful, and the fact that most people don't want to get in front of a camera is a competitive advantage, right? Because it's just less competition. So make sure you're trying to create some video content. It is part of online. YouTube is actually the #1 search engine online. A lot of people think it's Google. Google is not. More people spend time on YouTube than they do on Google. So keep that in mind. And the last one, create engaging headlines. Okay. So the problem with content creation many times is that people never get to the content. So if I write, how to start a business is different than writing how to make money from anywhere today. One of them's more appealing, right? So engaging content is not as important as the engaging headline, because they never get to the content without the headline. So you want to be thinking about, some people call this clickbait, but there's good clickbait and there's bad clickbait. Bad clickbait is when you saw something, you clicked on it because it was so enticing, and then you got there and it was totally unrelated, right? Good clickbait is like, it was engaging, you wanted to click on it, and then when you click on it, it gave you kind of what you were asking for, right? And it fluffed it up. So test headlines. And this is on Twitter. It could be, Twitter's a little shorter, but let's say on Facebook where you're writing a post, make sure that there's an emoji or something that stands out, a call to action that would make you want to stop scrolling, because that's what you're fighting against. You're fighting against everybody. Scroll, 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 scroll. Why are they stopping? Was the photo, enhanced enough? Was the headline enhanced enough? Was the blog post or the YouTube thumbnail enough that it made them want to stop? If it was, you did your job. So hopefully these things help you create more effective content marketing. If you need help, hit me up. If not, just bookmark this, and try a few of these things. One or two of these things will change your content game, right? You don't have to implement all of them. Take one at a time. Do one thing, right? Whether it's create a content calendar or just create visuals tonight or just use an automation tool. One of these things will propel you. I know because I've done it. Like when I started creating, when I started using tools like automation tools like Hootsuite or TweetDeck, it changed the trajectory. I mean, before it was like every day I was getting up and writing, and now all of a sudden I could sit there on Saturday and plan it out for the whole month, right, or the whole year. So just do one of these things, and if it was helpful, hit the like button, hit that share button if you think somebody else can benefit from this, and leave a comment underneath if you think you have other ways or if you know of other ways that you can help with your content marketing strategy. Share with the community, and I'll be back on another video. Thanks, guys.